wonder what is this in Power BI? This is called M language. And do you know what is M language in Power BI? Hi, this is Krupali from KnowHow Academy. So let's start with me. So let me tell you first what you are going to learn in this video. In this video, you will learn why there is a need of M language in Power BI, what is M language in Power BI, what is the difference between M language and DEX function in Power BI, and last you will learn about where to write M language and basics of M language. So let's start. So let me first tell you why there is a need of M language. Let me explain you with the scenario. Let's say you are selling food online and you have a data of order. Let's say this is the column called payment amount, which contain how much payment amount we get from each order. And at the end, you want to know that how much amount I get from all the order. So what you will do? You will use some DEX function, right? And what that DEX function will do? It will sum all the row which is available in a payment column and give you the answer, right? But here let me twist this question little bit. Let's say you have a data of order and inside a payment amount column, what if some string or some alphabet values are there? Then what happens if you use some function? You will not get correct result or you may get an error, right? What is the reason for that? Because when you try to add number with the string, it may generate wrong answer or it may generate an error. So how you can solve this problem in Power BI? So DEX function cannot solve this problem. To solve this problem in Power BI, you need to use M language which will clean the data. Which will clean the alphabetic data in a payment column. And why this type of error occur? Because of typing error, because of some data loading error and so on. So to deal with this type of error, M language you need to use. Now you understand why there is a need of M language. Next, let me tell you what is M language. So basically M language is a tool which is used in Power BI with Power Query Editor. Basically M language is used for data loading and cleaning perspective. Why? Because when you are analyzing data using Power BI, you ensure that data is in a proper format or correct format. Then you will get the correct result by analyzing the data. But if you get raw data which is not in a correct format, then M language will help you to clean and reshape the data. So I hope you get an idea what is M language. Now next, what is the difference between DEX and M language? So let me tell you. Basically, M language is used for ETL perspective. What is ETL? Extract data, transform data and load the data. And where DEX function is used for analyzing the data. So let's say you want to get the sum of all the orders. So you can use DEX function. But to use a DEX function, data should be in a proper format. So M language will extract data from the data source. If required, it will perform the cleaning operation and then it will load the data into the Power BI. So we can say that M language is used for ETL perspective and DEX function is used for analyzing perspective. I hope you get the idea what is the difference between DEX and M language. Let me show you practically. So this is a blank Power BI file. Now let's say you want to load the data of customer. So what you will do, you will click on Excel workbook. I assume that data is there in Excel file. Then you will select any data and here you select the table from which you want to get the data, and you can load it. In Power BI, you can load data from different data sources. Now let's say you want to clean the data before actually loading. So you can directly load and then you can clean it, or you can click on transform data. Once I click on transform data, this Power Query editor will open, and here you can check the data is in correct format, or as per your requirement you can reshape the data. Let's say my requirement is that I want to get the data based on gender, or let's say I want to count how many number of male and how many number of females are there. So what you will do, you will click on transform and click on group by. Then you can select the group, let's say gender, and you can click on OK. So whatever data you get, that raw data is converted into this format. So this is called transformation of the data. And then you can go to home, close and apply, and data is loaded. Here you can see that you have 100 row, but when you load the data into the Power BI, you have only 2 row and it is reshaped data, or you can say it is transformed data. So when you are loading data into the Power BI, you can transform it before the loading as well as you can transform it after the loading, and that process is done by the Power Query editor using the M language. Let me go back again in transform and let me show you. Now if you click here and click on the advanced editor, you can see automatically some code is written based on action you have performed. So that is M language code. Now I hope you get an idea of that. Now let me tell you where you can write M language code. So M language code you can write in Power Query editor. So from where you can open Power Query editor in Power BI. So once you have loaded data into the Power BI, so you need to click on home, and here there is an option, there is one menu that is called transform data. So click on that and click on transform data. Then new window will open, and that window Power Query editor window. So here you can see that something is written in this bar. And if you click that and if you click on advanced editor, you can see that some code is written. So here in this editor you can write M language formula or M language code. So if you click here and just click on editor, you can see. So whatever you are performing here, automatically Power Query editor will write M language code for that. So let me go to the customer table, and let's say here I am changing the name of the column. So let's say here first name. So I change the column, and you can see here in applied step one step is added, that is a rename column, and you can check that relevant code here it is written by the Power Query editor. So this is called the M language code for changing the column name. Let's say you want to convert this first name of every person into capital letter. So what you need to do, click on this column, click on the transform, and click on the format, and you will convert that data into uppercase. Now you can see that one step is added, and that step is called uppercase text, and this is the relevant code, M language code for converting the column data into the uppercase. If you go to the home, click on advanced editor, and here you will find the code. Now let's say here if you click on that, and you can see this is the M language written code. If you click here, so every step by step whatever code you have written, it is mentioned here. And if you click on advanced editor, this is the first step code, this is the second step code, and so on. So if you click here on the source, it will say that from where you have loaded the data, then you navigate it. So here you can see that this is the code. So here you can see from the source data is loaded, then this is the code for navigate, then you change the header, then you change the name of the column, and you have changed the uppercase or lowercase type of data. So here in advanced editor you need to write M language code. So till now you learn what is M language, why there is a need of M language, what is the difference between M language and text function, and where to write M language. Now here you may have a question that Krupali, how to write M language code, but don't worry, I will tell you how to write M language code in blank page or in blank query. So first of all, you need to take a blank query for writing a M language code. So there are two ways to taking a blank query. First of all, in Power Query Editor, you can take blank query. Let me show you how. So this is your Power Query Editor. So here you need to click on source, and here you can click on blank query. And here you will get the blank where the cursor is blinking and it is asking to write any code, and then you need to click on Advanced Query Editor, and this is the pre-written code, or you can say the blueprint of the code that how you should write it. So this is the first way. Let me just close, then apply. And the another way is that from screen you can also take blank query. So you can click on get data, and here you can click on blank query. So automatically Power Query Editor will open, and here cursor is blinking for writing a code, and then you can click on Advanced Editor and you can see that. So this is the way of taking a blank query. The next thing is that you need to understand the structure of a M language. So basically M language structure is made using two things. First thing is a let keyword, and then you need to write a code, and the second thing is that in, where you need to write your executable code, or you can say that inside in you need to write your process code. So let is the area, or you can say let is a section in M language where you declare variable, and in is a section in a M language where you need to write your processed code, what you want to do. So that is, and remember M language code is executed in bottom to top manner, not top to bottom. Now what is the meaning of that? Let me explain you with the simple scenario. Let's say I want to print hello world. Okay, so how can I do that? So first of all, you can write let keyword, and then you need to take a variable. So this is called variable declaration section. So variable 1, and inside that you need to assign value. So let's say hello, and let's say here this is a variable 2, and you want to write hello world. So this is called your let section, and each and every and after that you need to write inside the in section you need to write what you want to print. So let's say I want to print hello world, so you can write like this variable. So automatically you will get a suggestion of a variable which you have declared inside a let. So write where, and then let's say you want to concatenate it. So just hello, then you want to put a blank space, and then you want to write the value of variable 2. And here you are getting a red color sign. What is the meaning of that? So it is the rule of M language is that each and every statement in M language is ended with the comma. So here this is the first statement, so it is ended with the comma, and inside this let section where to equal to world is a last line. So last line will never end with the comma. So keep this thing in mind. And here you can write your actual processing code. So how Power Query engine will execute M code. So here it will check, it will start executing this. And let's say here if you write variable 3, so it will start here it will not show an error. But when you click on done, here you can see that an error occur. What is the error of that? It is saying that variable 3 was not recognized. So again click on that and go to the Power Query Editor. So when it start executing the code from here, it will try to get the reference from the let section. So variable 3 is not declared inside that, so it is generating an error. But let's say if I write variable 1, and then how it will execute. So when Power Query engine start executing the M code, it will concatenate whatever the value is there in variable 1, and it will check whether the variable 1 is declared inside a let section or not. So this is called here variable 1 is declared, and when here you can see that there is no syntax error have been detected. Now let's say if I forget to write comma, then you can see that token comma expected, and if you click on that, it will show the error. Here this is showing an error. Okay, so let me just write here the comma, and here you can see that no syntax error have been detected, and then you can see that hello world is printed. And here whatever query you have created, here you can see that. So let me just right click and rename it and give a query name, that is basic query of M language, and it is created. Now if you click on home and click on close and apply, and here you can see that, let me just refresh that. Here you can see that basic of M query language is loaded. Before that it was not there. If you expand that and if you click that, here let me just delete this so I can show you. And if you expand this, here something you can see that. So let's say what it is, what it inside that. So let me take a card chart and let me drag this field. So here you can see that whatever I have written a code inside a Power Query editor, it is written. So variable 1 and variable 2 value is concatenated and printed in the card chart. So here you can see that this query is called process data, and here I am analyzing this data. Since this is a simple hello world one word, so there is no big deal to analyze it, but this is a basic idea of how to write M language code. So let me just again go to transform data, and if you want to do some changes inside that, so again click on advanced editor. But let's say here if you want to do changes in this and you selected this, and if you click on advanced editor, so related to that code you will find it. So if select the query, or you can say select the model in which you want to do the changes. Okay, select that and then go to the home and click on advanced editor. So this way you can change the code. So let's say if you want to do some multiplication inside that. So let me just take remove this variable 1, I am just writing 1, and variable 2, let's say 40, and here I am writing 3, and then here I want to write, I want to perform that variable 1 into variable 2. So it will assign into variable 3, so equal to variable 1 multiplied by variable 2. And here I am declaring a variable 3 that will contain right now 0, and you can see that it is saying false. Why? Because there is some syntax error or maybe some logical error I have done. So variable 1, okay, actually let me just remove this and just click on done. So here there is an error. The reason is that variable 3 I have not declared yet. Okay, so here you can also write processing like that, variable 3 equal to variable 1 multiplied by variable 3, and here I want to print the variable 3. Okay, variable 3 spell correctly. Okay, let me just click on that, and here I need to write variable 2. Okay, then click on done. So here it is giving a value that 40 into 3, that is 120. So here also you can, so here in let section also you can perform the processing, but whatever the printing section you are doing, That is, you need to write it inside in. So this way you can write your M language. In next video we will do some exercise with the M language which is related to our actual data set. Thank you for choosing KnowHow Academy as a source of your IT knowledge. We are always here to help you to navigate to the tech world. If you have any question, do not feel hesitate to reach out us. Stay curious, keep learning.